Welcome to this little conversation, this little chat about the new Blackboard Wiki tool. During week 2, you had the assignment to collaborate on a wiki that would put together resources about Web 2.0 tools and also e-learning best practices. Purposefully, I gave you very little instruction because the previous week you got the opportunity to study and learn about technology natives. And so the idea was that you would put into practice some of those habits and play around with the tool, investigate, experiment, and then find out how the tool worked. Now we're working towards week 3, and many of you need a little bit of help and also maybe have experienced some frustration. And so now I want to take a little bit of time to discuss what is a wiki, how the wiki on Blackboard works, and what it can mean for your students as you assign them in your classrooms. First, let's define what a wiki is. Probably the most common wiki that comes to mind is Wikipedia, which is a collective work. A wiki, by definition, is a collective website that contains the perpetual collective work of many authors. It is perpetual because it is constantly changing. Authors are constantly editing, adding, modifying content, and it is collective because many authors are participating in the content creation of this particular work. Let's look at the wiki that we're working on for week 2. I created this wiki, and the objective was to collaborate with your classmates to create a glossary of Web 2.0 and e-learning terms. I also specified that you were going to be working on this for about 2 weeks, and you would basically be adding content and add other types of media to illustrate tools and e-learning best practices. And when you're working with the wiki, that was created, there's one of 3 things that you can do. Number 1, you can add a new page. You can create a wiki page just like these pages have been added on the right, and basically begin defining the term, adding photos, adding links that will help the readers get an idea of the resources available. That's one thing that you can do. The other thing that you can do is you can go ahead and take a page that perhaps is started but is not very rich with content and edit the content. So I may say, okay, there's wiki teaching ideas. I wonder if there are any videos perhaps that may exemplify that. And so as I mouse over my text editor box, I can see that there's a number of media that I could technically add. In this mashup link, which is also new, I could find to see from Blackboard if there are any YouTube videos, wikis in education, perhaps. And I can search and I can say, oh, okay, so there's some tools here that I can use. And then what you can do is maybe you can preview the actual the video. And let's just assume that this is one that you want to use. So I can just select it, and you can set the options here, and then you can submit it. And so now you have just edited a page that was already created. Okay. And the third thing that you can do is perhaps go to an area that has already been created by somebody, and maybe you can add a comment. And so your comments now become also part of their resource. You're not only adding content, you're editing content, but you're commenting and furthering the conversation of this particular page. So those are the 3 things that you can do to add content to the wiki. Now, the other thing that you can do is to look at how this content has come together. You can do a history check to see how many versions have been provided. Also, you can take those versions and you can compare them and see how the information was modified. This may be important as people see how the information has changed. There's other tools that show how the information was modified. You can also see a summary of the participation. You can see the people that have already contributed to this wiki, the words contributed, the words modified, the page saves, the page saves in terms of percentage. You can also, if you are going to grade this wiki and you would have to set up some criteria for their students, you can actually go to that person and see exactly the contributions of that person and how that person contributed to the particular content. And so if you display it, you will see the content that was added by that person. All in all, the wiki provides a great place where students can come, bring the knowledge to the table, and grow a body of knowledge. Maybe put together a textbook for the class. Maybe put together a study sheet for the class throughout the semester. I hope to see many ideas shared on the wiki, but for now, hopefully you can move forward.